People, the voice you hear or hearing is that of Mervelee Myers, because at the moment I'm doing therapy, and because I've been locked out of my Facebook account, I think that has given me the impetus to move on, forget about social media platforms that are part of the terror cells covering up abuse rings operated by no other than June O'Sullivan of Leaf Nurseries. So here I am. I'm going through some paperwork because I just need to get these things out of my space and start taking back control of my life. So as you can see, it's here, application notice, and I'm just giving you a brief run through the way they stitch me up using my vulnerability against me of having disabilities, chronic anxiety and all that. Yeah, so these are just some of the paperwork that I'm just gonna chuck them out, because without that I won't be able to move on with my life. I made some notes and I think I should read. The defendant should be struck off operating as a barrister. Read the following. Refer to Bar Standards Board and its failure to respond to my response about SJ response. Michael Carter. 2. Miss SJ bragging about her status. 3. Grenfell Tower inquiry. Who gave her the reference? Judge Freya. The EAT perverting the course of justice. Justice Simla. Yeah. Judge Shanks. Samantha Jones arguing my case about Parkinson's when I could not put Parkinson's as a disability because I do not have a medical diagnosis. The EAT. 1. Hiding where she work. Carrying out using John Fenton's to pretend he's a lawyer. Did not prepare the case. The adjournment made up contagious disease. 5. Is that why the judicial ombudsman made the decision? Why did Justice Simla and the EAT disability deportation? The defendant owes me an apology on top of damages for years of emotional distress for defamation. Defendant be prevented from serving on any capacity on matters like Grenfell and all other posts. The defendant donate to charities I support from the time I lost my brother and have first nervous breakdown. Yeah. Yeah, so those are just things. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm just capturing what I've written. Yeah. Address rerunning. Yeah, so these are just notes that I made. Yeah. Notes that I made from all this. So this is just another form of triggering my trauma with all this paperwork, and I'm not going to do all of it. I'm just showing you what they're capable of, and I'll be chucking them out. I've had enough. At the back I put mention Caroline Flack court order redesignated judge. Compare Clerkenwell and Shoreditch, LinkedIn, Facebook, Google, role of police and ambulance, role of the Crown Prosecution Service, Samaritans. Refer to my blogs, Read Charmaine, and the Trolls, role of social media. So let me update you now to the latest. So police came into my house to murder me, to say I committed suicide. Now I've been charged under the Criminal Damage Act 1971. I had to make another complaint because I was assaulted in Brixton by a black man on Monday. And the question the police who came to my house asked, are you involved in any criminal activities the past 12 months? Okay? I'm sure once I called and they heard my details, they would have checked to find out who I am. So why do they think they can come into my house to ask me such questions? Yeah? And as a result of the stupidness that I heard them going on with, I told them I'm recording the rest of this conversation. Yeah? In line with GDPR. So I'm just going to chuck these out now. I've had enough. Refer to independent solicitor on the back about appeal. Yeah? Independent solicitor says, if I do not appeal, I accept disciplinary hearing outcome. Nothing I can do later. Yeah? So I'm just going to get rid of all of these. I've had enough. So I'm doing it. I think this is the same thing, but that came first and I addressed it. Yeah? As you can see, I make marks in second miscarriage of justice. So that's how I do my thing. Yeah? Yeah? So it's the same thing. So I'm just going to get rid of this now. I've had enough. Panel take 5 months to copy the respondent summary. In light of recent developments, I am challenging CLCC that I should be compensated for damages the past 6 years. Judge Freer reference to defendant for Grenfell inquiry. As I said, it's the same thing. So a lot of it is overlapping. Yeah? But I use stories from the paper to back up mine. And here it said serial killer suspect is named in police report. Yep. And the other one, bullying row jockey club chief quits. Supplement, supercharge your children's confidence. And I wrote on there, more of Barrister Samantha Jones getting away with friends in high places. Yeah? So that's that one. Right, so as you can see, how I am bombarded. What did I say I am? Bombarded with paperwork. As somebody says to me, they're burying you in paperwork, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah? All that. And I can't chuck anything out. So I'm just going to take the bulls by the horn now and I'm chucking out. Yeah? As you can see, Wambo Bond Dickinson. Yeah? And after the case, yeah? So see, they make sure they have my address correct now. After the case, I saw on Twitter that somebody from this company, there was something to do with misappropriation of funds. Use of scare tactics in breach of rules of law. Refer to reviews on Leaf website by Jyoti Sharma and my letter to Dilys Ipton, 14th of the 3rd, 2015. As I said, I'm chucking these out. I can't deal with any more of them. Another one. Yeah? So here again, it's them same one. We act on behalf of the defendant in respect of the above proceedings. Yeah? And this is what I wrote. Samantha Jones and cohorts responsible for denying me my entitlement under the Equality Act. Refer to the Long Service Awards, 15th of the 10th, 2014. Yeah? I'm chucking them out. Yeah? I can't let these things bombard. So it's more documentation. Yeah? And this is what I wrote. Those involved from HMCTS are career criminals. How many of the witnesses still at leave? Is it not a fact that Rashid Iqbal resigned but still come to the ET to lie? Well, yesterday, what happened yesterday? I saw a James Jones. I did not see the first. I only saw the notification where I was tagged in Mervelee Rattingham Hard Prick. And by the time I responded, Facebook got in on the act to say I breach their community standards. So then I am going to look what was said, and that's when I scroll through. Where did this happen? On a LinkedIn page. So they're working together. Because the day before I saw an email came to, because I have to take out a LinkedIn page in my husband's name because they refused me access to my account where I was an influencer. So an email came to say I was getting notice. So I think that was a setup, because by the time the person came in, prick, and I responded, Facebook came in, it's on a LinkedIn page, something solutions. And then when I went and have a good look now, I noticed that he had actually called me a moron before, but that Facebook didn't notify me of that one. So it's definitely a stitch up. Yeah? So I'm locked out again out of my Facebook. And I decided, you know what? I'm not going to play their games. LinkedIn taken away my account. Twitter has taken away my account. Now Facebook is on the prowl again, because they started from the 18th of September 2015 till one time I was locked out on my new laptop, so I had to take out an account in my husband's name, and that's how I got back access. So this is their way now locking me out, because whatever I have there is damaging them, because I have things written there that I don't even remember, and it is going to damage them, and that's why they're doing that. So here's another one from them. We have been instructed to act on behalf of Samantha Jones. Right, so I come to this folder because I'll be getting rid of so many things. I've had enough. Yeah, so this is my thingy that I drafted. So you imagine the amount of time I have to sit here writing, preparing documents to respond to all of those. These would be on my sticks. But anything that I write, I'm keeping it for reference for later. Yeah, so as you can see, how many pages. So here is another one. Royal Courts of Justice. And it is saying I've been informed by the County Court at Clerkenwell and Shoreditch when I called yesterday that all my claims had been transferred to Central London County Court. Yeah? I am more than happy not to have any dealings with Clerkenwell and Shoreditch. Well, I'm just trying to show you what it's all about. So this is all about delaying tactics, yeah, to trigger my trauma. And hopefully they thought maybe when the police came, they would have succeeded in murdering me and say that I committed suicide. So now it's gone now to Criminal Damage Act, yeah, and the attempt on me yesterday on Facebook. So now I'm locked out, yeah. So this is something I wrote, 16th of March 2020. Creating the Legacies by Mervelee Myers Tomlinson. So a brief history of me. Yep. Little did I know that I would be asked when the police came to murder me and take me to Southwark police station, that I would be asked if I have a British passport. So those things need to be kept. I'm not destroying them. All right. So here's another one. Yeah. Date 20th of December 2016. Yeah. 12th of March 2016. I'm always writing. Isn't any wonder that I'm getting really stressed out and all that I have to do? Yeah. So here is another one, 31st of March 20, Court Enforcement Services. Yeah, so I'm bringing them all in because I'm going to chuck these out. So this one is who now? Same Barrister Samantha Jones. I'm just, yeah. All leading up to that. This is something I prepared. Yeah, maybe addressing their thingy. So all I've done these past how many years, stressed out. I'm not a solicitor. I haven't got legal training, but I have to be doing everything myself. 2nd of the 9th. Yeah? Arguments for claimant Mervelee Myers defendant versus defendant Barrister Samantha Jones. You see what I have to be doing? Isn't any wonder I feel depressed and stressed out and all that has happened to me? Yeah? So maybe I do 2 copies. Yeah? Review of the Employment Tribunal, a personal perspective by Mrs. M.I. Myers, written by Mervelee Myers for statistical purposes, 26th of December 2017 to 15th of January 2018. Right. So this is something from Dr. Maria Hudson's, because I was participant in Dr. Maria Hudson's research paper for the Policy Studies Institute recommended to ACAS. The influence of outcome-based contracting on provider-led pathways to work 2010 DWP Research Report number 638, the EHRC Triennial Reviews Developing the Employment Evidence Base, Equality and Human Rights Commission Report Search 2010, Diversity, the Experience of Discrimination on Multiple Grounds, London ACAS 2012. So I was participating in that one. Here's another one. The Management of Mental Health at Work, ACAS Research Paper, 1116, London ACAS 2016. Dr. Maria Hudson, University of Essex, whatever. Prior to this, I spent nearly 10 years working as a social researcher at the Policy Studies Institute. So that's when I was interviewed by her. Research paper, The Experience of Discrimination on Multiple Grounds. Here it is. I've got my email somewhere. Yeah? So I'm going to use these now for my thingy. Yeah? That I'm doing. So anything I've written, I'm not throwing it out. And I'll use these for my own. Yeah? So here is a clause 15. At the time of writing, redress for intersectional multiple discrimination has not been implemented in the legal framework, and there are no indications at the present time of the issue being subject to further review. However, as well as recognizing the distinctive experience of individuals experiencing intersectional discrimination, implementation of the dual combined discrimination in the Equality Act 2010 as currently constructed might have a symbolic significance, reflecting a growing recognition that multiple identities may interact with workplace practices and cultures, as argued earlier in this report. An intersectional multiple discrimination provision might also encourage employers to proactively prevent its workplace occurrence. It would do so by prompting them to review and understand how discrimination can involve the unique contribution of more than one protected characteristics. Yeah? So I'm not going any further, but these are for my own thingy. So this is references. And I was surprised because unlike when I done the mental health research, I was sent to the link where I appeared. After Dr. Maria Hudson came, sat right here, interviewed me, it was recorded. She never contacted me to say the research was online or whatever. So you see how 2 different people operate. So here I have some information about defamation. Yeah? Right, so I wrote my thingy. And this is response from Downing Street. So as a result of me contacting Prime Minister Cameron, that's how I was put on to David Chapman. I think it was David Chapman from the Department for Education, and that's how I went to do learning support assistant training, volunteered with HCT group. The intention was that I would be doing teacher training. It never materialized. That's another podcast. Yeah? So you see I have, yeah? So here again, something to do with Employment Tribunal, 25th of December 2015. Yeah, things to do with the claim. So I think I can finish that one now with Samantha Jones and do another podcast for another time. Yeah, so I think I'm going to get rid of some of these paper because I need to get my life back on track. So that's that.